So residential house, it's been rezoned to commercial mixed use because it's have built some student housing, like condos around it. So I just don't know if there's any red flags there or if that's actually like a hidden opportunity, just the fact that it's zoned commercial mixed use.
I guess my knee jerk is what's around it before I answer it. Like, what does it look like? Have you seen around it?
Yeah. So I went there yesterday. That was my appointment yesterday, and it's just a regular house in a neighborhood that, like the next street over, right in front of it, they built these condos for students because it's a little bit of a college neighborhood.
Okay. So I have 2 comments, and if the coaches have more, please chime in. Many of you may know I ran a college business by itself for a long time. So I like that as a backup. If you can't or don't want to do a rent to own, they cash flow quite nicely. Unlike Airbnb and the shorter term, you're not turning it over like that. You're getting parents' signature and usually getting prepaid for a year. So I like the whole college model. I can teach any of you that. But in general, the house doesn't sound like it's out of the realm to do a regular one either.
Okay, yeah, I just didn't know because of the zoning, because they said that it was under contract. This is a seller that said he wasn't interested in what I had to offer, and it was under contract, that it fell out of contract. So he called me back, and the reason it fell out is because I guess the buyer found out that it was zoned commercial and didn't like that, so they canceled it. But I don't know if there was anything there.
Well, I mean, my knee jerk on that is that's just like any other listing that, like, people say, well, how come I couldn't sell this for 2 years and you guys can sell it? Because people that need help.
Okay. And then the second thing was they have a lease that's starting listed to 3 college students this month, and the seller is wondering if I can take over that lease and then buy it from him. So I didn't know how that plays out, or if anybody's done that, or just wait till the lease is done.
Okay, 2 tiers to this. The video on what to do if there's a renter in there would answer that. Take the college thing out of the picture for a second.
Okay.
It's just going to be more lucrative with college. So you do the same thing you would do, go through the video again, but the same thing you would do for any renter, which is you want to look at the lease terms, right? You want to go see the property and meet the lads to see if you want to deal with them. And if they're girls versus guys, I can tell you after 7 years of doing the college scene, that's better.
Okay.
But you looked at math too.
Okay. Sounds good.
If they're
like that model, it's not.
If they're like keg in there, if there's a keg in there, walk away.
Yeah. No joke. There'd be those slobs, and you go to the girls' apartments, candles lit, and everything's nice. So it's just a different. You're gonna beat the crap out of your house if it's guys. Most of them. I'm happy to teach you that, but if not, I'm saying I wouldn't be afraid of that neighborhood.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just now that I had the appointment, I'm gonna work with Rusty and coming up. I have the numbers and everything, and coming up with a couple options, maybe.
Rusty can put me in wherever he wants, but I'll tell you guys if that lease is starting with the college kids, they're doing it right. They're starting it at the beginning of the summer. You have to pay for it even though it's not in school.
Yeah.
That'll fill. You want to have that filled by the fall.
Yeah.
So it's going to come fast. Well, it's good you're looking at this now.
Okay.
All the kids fill those by then. Go ahead, Rusty.
Well, I was just gonna say, and his buyer pool has shrunk considerably, so you're in the right position.
Yeah, this is good for you, not for him.
Yeah, he told me, I'm supposed to be running comps today, and then I'll put some stuff in Slack. And I told him, hey, walk through with his agent yesterday, and he's just basically waiting for me to send him an offer. So,
and he can wait for his money. That's the key thing, right?
Yeah, he can wait. I said, hey, 3, 4, 36 months, and he's like, yeah, that sounds good. That'll work. My question, and then next question on this is, he doesn't want to cut his realtor out. And I was like, I kind of floated the idea of, he could pay his realtor if she would take payments over time, right, through his equity. So I don't know if that's an option too.
Of course it's an option by him, but I would say it's up to you how you do it. I don't know why you'd want to pay a commission if I'm dealing, but if I respect if you do, that's up to you how you do it.
Yeah. Okay. No, I don't want to pay her commission. It would just, instead of paying him all of his equity, he wants to cut her a check for 30 or 40 grand, and it would come out, instead of making one payment to him, it almost, he would take half of that and give it to his realtor. He was trying to spitball how he could take care of her because he doesn't want to cut her out.
Yeah. Tell him it's up to him.
Yeah. That's between them two. Yeah.
Okay.
It's good for you to know. So as you structure the offer, you see what your cash to him would be. But Here's my last question on this, you guys. And Rusty can do the math with you and pull me in if he needs me. But why is he selling if he's got a nice lease for college for a year? Not sure where to get started? Go to smartrealestatecoach.com/get going for free books, strategy calls, and a whole bunch more. We're going to help you get going the wicked smart way. We've been after this for over a decade, doing exactly that.
He's got another opportunity that he wants to take his capital and pursue, and I guess he's still willing to wait for it for 3 years. I'm not sure if that opportunity is still going to be around. That's what all I've been able to pull from out of him and his realtor so far is that he's just got another opportunity.
Okay, so you didn't meet the tenant check because they didn't stop, but you did see the property.
Saw the property, met the realtor, and I've talked to him on the seller on the phone a couple times.
All right, so let's look at the lease. You might not have to go the route of the rental video, the education video in ARC, because if the lease is co-signed by the parents, which I used to do, and is it great? Is it prepaid?
I don't know that.
Why I'm asking that is you would start the deal and walk away with cash.
Got it. Okay.
So if they prepaid even a quarter, you're walking away with cash at that closing.
Yeah, she said it was $3,000 a month, 3 boys, but she didn't say if it was prepaid or not.
All right, so it is the boys.
My only red flag, and just what I've heard was he wants to sell because he wants to move the money to invest in something else, but he can wait. And this doesn't make sense to me.
Not 100%. I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll write that down, and I'll ask that in the prepayment. Just part of my, trying to develop an offer, and I'll get some clarification on that.
Yeah, Lance, this is a question that some of you might be afraid to ask, but this is a normal question. If you were talking to your neighbor or your family member, you'd ask them the same thing. It's not connecting. You just told me this, but you're doing this, so explain. Just be quiet.
Yeah.
Did he talk about any money up front or?
He did. He said, what kind of down payment? And then I gave the standard, hey, we usually don't, but if we do it's something small. And I said, we're going to give him some options, but then I really pushed for the appointment because I'm trying to move my business next. I got enough leads. I got to get appointments. So, and he was open to that. So now it's probably trying to give him a couple of different variations of an offers that, of course, work for me and work for us, but then hopefully get him to bite on one of them.
Okay. Good deals brewing here.
Yep.
I like it, Lance. I like if you can get a property and you have other options. That's what I like.